Hey, hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. So I think this is audible for all. Okay, fine. Okay, so we're going to start our sections. This is our third day of advance to mastery JavaScript. Okay, so this is our third day. Okay, so what we're going to cover means we're going to cover we're just going to cover the ending of classes and inheritance what we have discussed yesterday. So that is we're going to finish out today. And the next thing what we're going to see is what are the in the basics also we have covered some of the ES6 concepts like what is template literal, what is arrow functions, how to give a default parameters, and something like that. So on, so on things is that is what we're going to cover. Okay, so hello, Karthik, Karthik sir. Yeah, hello sir, happy to see you. So if you have any doubts regarding the previous sections, or if you have anything else that you want to ask, you can ask now, because I just going to start the section at 8:30 only. Okay, so shortly 8:30. I just going to end that in 8:35. I just end that session. Okay, so that's my stand now. Okay, so what are the topics today we're going to learn means we're going to see about arrow functions, and we're going to see about scopings, and we're just going to see about scopings and all also. Hello, good evening, Kunal. Happy to see you. Good evening all. So that is today, and the next the day after, day 4, we're going to cover about array methods like array helper methods like maps, filter studies, like so on thing. That's what we're going to cover. And the next day we're going to cover about what is spread operator, what is destructuring, and something like modules, sure on thing. Okay, so that is what we're going to cover. And today we just cover, like, we complete the classes, we see the basics about classes and all, and I'm going to quickly create a classes for you. And next thing what I'm going to do is just going to create an arrow function, and what are the things we can use. We're going to see depth in arrow functions. Okay, that is what we're going to see today, because in the basics we have discussed how to create an arrow functions. Okay, so hey, Karthik Kumran, thank you. Thank you for this. Thank you for contributing. Thank you for the. Thank you. Thanks. A day in YouTube recommendation. So I miss all the previous class. No problem. So all the previous classes are available in a live section only. Okay. So you can get that. Okay. Just wait for a minute. Okay, so everything is in available only. The thing is that every day, nowadays, today you coming, no problem. So at the end of the time, we give you we give you a attendance form to fill, and after filling that form, you came to know that you will get a certificate of participation in the workshop of all those things. Okay, so you can participate, continue with now. Okay, so I think, I hope you will get. Okay, so but if you have the previous recording of 2 days, go and watch that, and try to check whether the live chat is available or not, because in that live chat we give the attendance of that particular day. Okay, so I'm not able to share the previous day attendance today. Okay, so that is not possible, but I can share the today's attendance. Okay, okay, so please share your LinkedIn. Yeah, sure. Yeah, so many of you asked my LinkedIn and the founders LinkedIn. Just give a minute, I just share you. Okay, this is my LinkedIn. And if you want to connect with like our founder of TWD, it's Navidu Biswa sir, who has an experience in like around. Can you share workshop link? Can you share workshop link? Oh, you asking for that private workshop, right? So you are asking for that private workshop, like the paid workshop we are conducting for that, right? That is what you are asking, right? So just a minute, I'm just sharing you. Yes, okay. So I just keep sharing this. Okay, so this is the reason I started earlier, because so many of the doubts you have and so many of the things that you want to discuss. And here there is two links there. One is for the payment gateway, and if you have any queries, just come for the LinkedIn and just put a message for me. I will give you a private WhatsApp group for you, and there you can ask all your doubts and you can clarify yourselves. And after that, after paying the amount, you will get to know. We will create an one-to-one class for you. Okay, so instead of creating, instead of creating a live class like in YouTube. That's all. We created a special class for you, and we take over your for all thing like that is like an after completing the projects and all, you will came to know various, you will capable to apply for the any internships and jobs role, junior developer, like that, fresher developer, whatever you want, you can apply that, you can get a job easily. Okay, so that is how the course has been well structured, and you can see the syllabus also. So that is the syllabus is like just for reviewing. Okay, so we have much more. Okay, we have much more. Okay, so I think something has been shared. Okay, we have, it's showing like 104 error. I think because of that link it's showing like, wait a minute, I just check that. Yeah, I think it's working now correctly. For me it's working. Just try it out, this link, just go and try it out this, and I hope that that will be work fine for all of us. I think so. Okay. Okay, so if you have any doubts, don't worry, I will be I stop my section at 8:25 itself, and after watching this workshop, we will discuss a lot. Okay, so I'm going to tell you some of the announcement and all, and regarding this boot camps and all of those things. Okay, so Kunal, try it out. If you have any errors still there, okay, connect me personally in my like I shared my LinkedIn. Okay, so you just connect with me. I just share the information over LinkedIn. I think it's work fine for me. Okay, so I don't know why it's not work for you. Okay, so if you have any process like that, don't do, wait for a minute and we can do it. Okay, it's okay. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, okay, so now we just start our section, and if you have any doubt you can ask me, and once whether you have applied or if you have paid for that boot camp and all, just give a comment. Okay, so just give a comment, and we came to know who people are joined and all. Okay, so in earlier as possible. Okay, because this is going to be started in August, and next 2 months we're going to take care of your one-to-one personal development classes is going to be there, and consultant classes is going to be there, career guidance classes is going to be there, and also for one-to-one doubt clearing session is also going to be there. Okay, so I hope this will get, help you. Okay, okay, so see you right now. We just move on. Okay, just, so is this my screen is now your now you can see my screen. You can able to see my screen, right? I think if it is yes, just comment it off. Okay. Okay, I think yes. Okay, it's working. Thank you, Kunal. Thank you, Kunal. Thank you so much. So I start my section. Okay, just going to use the JS bin, and I think Kunal is today a new students arriving for this, and I'm watching. There are so much of new students are coming coming to our live workshop. Okay, so I'm glad welcome you all, because how I know is the subscriber count. I just saw yesterday it's 4.13 something like that. So now it increases for around like I think 200 subscribes has been increased. Okay, I know that. So the only the new people are getting subscribed. Okay, thank you so much for giving your valuable time and taking this workshop. Okay, so that makes more valuable for the other students and for you also and for me also. Okay, so let's get started. So last class, so what is mean by JS first of all? Okay, for new arrivals. So JS is nothing but it's like a code editor. Okay, it's like code editor. How you work with the Visual Studio Code editor, Sublime, Atom, and we something like that. There are so much of code editor out there. Like, so the same like that Visual Studio Code how the code editor works. The JS Bins also is like an online code editor. We can say code editor, but it is also actually a debugger. Okay, so where we get an options, lot of options. Instead of there are what all of the options that browsers can give. The browsers can give like the output is whatever the thing we are working with, the HTML and CSS and JavaScript, the output will be rendered in the browser, right? So here, instead of using the browser, we can use this JS bin, the output also rendered. And also we have an other things like the console, we can directly use the console itself and everything. Okay, so that is how the console is going to be work. and I want to know like whether yesterday the classes have been taken, right? So classes have been taken. So what is actually a classes? I mentioned a word. Okay, it starts with B. Okay, so let I know what is mean by classes and what is the uses of creating a classes and what it's going to be work with, how it's going to be work with object. Okay, what is actually a classes is? Just you, if you know the answer, just give a comment. Okay, so if you know it, I think mostly I use the repeated word only. Okay, what is the purpose of creating a classes? The creating classes is nothing but it is used to create object much more easier. Okay, so I say a word that is called blueprint. Classes is nothing but it is a blueprint for creating an object. Okay, so if you have any doubts over classes, okay, because I going to do it from scratch, I just going to do much quicker the older session. If you have any doubt, you can comment it now and I just clear your doubts and all. Okay, so just give for 2 minutes and I just type the previous class, whatever the code we have written in previous class, I just type it out. Okay, so just go for my JS bin and this is the JavaScript code. And what is classes? I say that classes is a blueprint, right? It's a blueprint for what? For creating object, right? So yesterday I created classes. I think you remember the syntax and all. So how the classes has been created? So the classes has been created by using class keyword, and the first thing should be a caps, and I need to open this mustache or curly brace, whatever I want. And yesterday we see about there is a constructor method is being used, and what is the purpose of creating the constructor? The purpose of creating is constructor, it holds all the properties inside it, right? For example, I say id, I say name, I say use, I say email. Okay, so these are the thing I want as a property. So I think we know what is like properties and all, right? So you guys are well versed in what is properties and what is method. So how many of you know what is property and what is method in object? How many of you know? Let I come. If you don't know, just say I don't know. Just give a comment, I will explain. Okay, so then only I can explain. So just give a comment in that. Okay, so okay, so this is constructor method. It is a method that is used to create properties. Okay, so here I using this. Okay, so I explained this is a vast subject. Okay, so this is a vast subject and that's we going to see very soon. Okay, so I explained how this works here too. Okay, so it's something like this, and here I just going to say this dot name, something like this, name, not like equal to, like, yeah, okay. So and I say this dot email is equal to email, like this. Okay, so we have created a property, blueprint for property, not a property, and I just going to create a method too. Okay, so I think I just, can I get the command? So I just want the command, guys. So how many of you know what is property, what is method? If you know, just say yes, I know, like that. Just simply type the comment. If you know, just tell me yes or no. Okay, so because based on that I can able to go for next, because if you don't know means I want to explain it. Okay, so that is my duty. Okay, so I just going to say body.inner. Okay, so these are the things we have discussed yesterday itself. So if you are new here, don't confuse, like no, he is explaining, not, no, I explained it. Okay, so I'm going to explain now also. Okay, so bear with me. Okay, so okay, so we're just going to say like my name is like this, and I just going to put this my email. Email is what I'm going to do. Just going to put the thing. Okay, so here I'm going to use the email. Okay, so that's it. We have finished out. And the next, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to create a object. I just get a command. So I'm a fresher. It's my first class. Okay, same here, same here. I don't know. Okay, so I'm going to explain. I just going to explain. Don't worry. So if someone knows already, okay, bear with me. I will explain you. Okay, so okay. For that, what I can do, I just go for Google to get some reference. Okay, not for reference objects. in JS. Okay, so something like objects. Okay, I just go for some online documents out there. Okay, you can refer our documents too. Okay, so instead of doing this, okay, let I come here. Okay, so let I explain. So before, what is mean by classes means, okay, so before getting into classes, I explain what is object. Okay, so object is nothing, how to attend from beginning, there is also a previous classes is there. Okay, so you can go the before week, the day before week, we have 5 classes for the basics to advanced level, and this is from Monday to Friday. Okay, so the past week, so now we are conducting like Monday to Friday, this is advanced to mastery level, like it's focusing more about ES6 and all. Okay, so that is what it's focusing. Okay, okay, if you want that, you can have just go for the TWD, and you can just scroll down, you can get the classes. Okay, so it's available there, it is pre-recorded, not pre-recorded, it's a live, and that live is available there. Okay, so what is object? So if no one understand, I'll explain it. What is object? Object is nothing but it's like, for example, okay, so this is what, this is a water can, right? So this is a can, right? This is like, I can say this is a bottle, right? So this is a bottle, and you can consider this as an object, and I need to describe this. Okay, what is mean by describing this? So describing is nothing but I want to tell about all the information about this one. Okay, so everything is data, right? So everything is data, and object is like way of storing data. Okay, it's like a way of storing data. For example, if I want this bottle information, so what I can explain, for example, what is the width of the bottle, what is the height of the bottle, what is the model of the bottle, and what is the brand name, and how many liters it can hold. This is all called as what? These are called as what? This is object. And what is the height, width, and the bottle, and what I'm saying, the how many liters it carrying, everything is like description. I'm just, what I'm saying, I'm just the properties, I'm just explaining the properties. For example, if I take a car, okay, it is the best example. If I tell about the property of a product, okay, example, for example, if you are creating a data, okay, so let's come here. Okay, so leave this now, I just give a quick revision for you guys. And for example, I know how many of you do you know variables or quality, product or quality? Tell about the property of product or quality. Okay, so object is not about like telling about property is nothing but it is an term in objects. Okay, so let I explain you. For example, do you know variables and all? So what is mean by variable, and what is the use case of variables and all? If you know, whether you are know about what that means. Okay, so I just go from the scratch. For example, if you want to declare a variable, like I say var, and I say name, and I just say the name here like this. So what is mean by this means, this name is like a container. Okay, so this name here, you can see there is a name is there, right? So this like a container, this looks like a container. So what this container is doing here means it's storing the data. Okay, it's storing the data. That data is called as name. That data is here what we written. So this is value, and this is called as variable. A variable is nothing but it stores the data. Okay, so this is what the variable do. Okay, so if I go for, like, for example, if I go for so much of thing, for example, if I say this is f name, for example, this is the first name, if this is a last name, and I can say something like this. And if I want to say that like, I want to declare email, okay, like this. And what I'm doing here, I'm storing a data that is stored inside a variable, right? So an object is nothing but, here you can see a variable can able to hold you every time. I, for example, I creating a first name, I'm storing one value. I creating a last name, I'm storing one value. And I creating an email, I'm storing one value, right? So variable is capable to store one value, that is called as primitive values. Okay, so that's our capable to store one value. So but what object do means, what object do means, for example, I'm going to create the same thing in object. How can I do that? Means, for example, I just going to create like something like this, and I can say person. Okay, so this is going to be declare all the information about the person. For example, if I say first name, and here you can see like this. Okay, so and I say L name like simply like this, and here we can say simply like this. And the next thing, I just want to create the email for the person, and here what I can say, I just simply create like this, right? Okay, so then what is the difference between a variable and a person? So here you can see this is an unorganized code, right? So I am declare everything separately, right? So I am declaring everything separately. So this is for only one person. What if I create it for like hundreds, thousands, lakhs of persons? So every time I want to say first name, like that I want to say. But in object, this is, you can see this is like organized code, right? So I am going to, like, instead of person, I just simply say employee. So I am running a company, I'm storing data of my employee. Okay, so I can simply give like id like something like this, and I just say one. Okay, so this is employee number one, and his name is Hari, and his last name is Prashad, and his email is whatever. Okay, so this is how it works. Okay, so object is nothing but it can capable to store a list of values, and that list of values have named indexes. So what is mean by named indexes? You can access it by name. For example, how can I access this? How can I access this? So you can access it by I just remove this. How can I access this means, I just going to say console dot log console.log. So I want the first name of the person. How can I do that? So I want the first name of the person. How can I do that means, I just simply call the object. Okay, I just simply call the object, and what I can do, I just use the dot operator and I can paste it here. Okay, I just use the dot operator, and I can just call the property name. If I save this, okay, I just say run. Hello sir, employee dot first name. Yeah, that is what I written. Okay, 𝐏𝐚𝐫𝐭𝐢𝐜𝐚𝐭𝐢𝐿. Okay, it's showing like syntax error. Full stack jobs are available after 2 years as a fresher. After 2 years as a fresher. If you have the skills, you don't want to worry about the other things. Okay, so if you have the skills, you can able to go. Okay, so if you want to go, you can go. Okay, there is no problem with that. Okay, so syntax error, just a minute, I just token error where there is a syntax error, I think. Okay, so sorry, I just want to give, I working with class and all, I just to get confused. Okay, so if I say run, where it's showing error like this. Okay, so this is the syntax. Okay, so I'm working with classes and I come to again object, this makes an error. Okay, so that is what is that's what happens. I just run this. Okay, so once again I run fully. Now you can see I can able to access that. Okay, so if like this, so if you want an n number of persons, so in your company you have like thanks for answering. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so if you have the right skills, so you don't want to worry about anything. Okay, so you can get it. Okay, so even the non-IT background peoples are getting the jobs towards the IT, so only because of the skills. Okay, so if you have an degree towards IT, what will happen, they will take you. Okay, and then they train you. Okay, so the company will train you. Okay, so this is the process, and they appoint for the position. But if you're a fresher, no problem. If you're non-IT, no problem. If you have that skill, the companies will, oh, you are coming with a skill, then my problem is solved. Okay, so come in. Okay, so you directly get into the project. So that is how it works. Okay, so you get some basic projects and all, that's how it's works. Okay, so object is nothing but it's like organizing every code, everything. Okay, so the same, like here you can see, this is whenever I call this is an object, and I using this, right? So this is storing some data. If I call the first name, here you can see it is displayed as Hari. If I call the L name, if I going to call this L name, okay, if I going to call this L name, you can see that name is present here. I just say run. Here you can see that name is present here. Okay, so this is how it works. Okay, this is how it works, and you can able to access that. And if you have thousands, lakhs of objects, lakhs of employees, data is there, what you can do, you can easily look through it and you can display it. Okay, so that is all we have discussed it. Okay, So if you don't attend that section, please go for the previous section. Okay, bear with me. You can able to understand that. You can able to understand today's section, and you just go and watch the previous section. You can able to do that. Okay, so this is what actually an object is. Okay, so object is, and what I say property, what is meant by property? A property is nothing but, here you can see inside an object we storing some values, right? We storing some, it looks like a variable, like, so this id has the value of 1, this first name has the value of Hari, and this last name has the value of Prasad, and what it is doing, it's storing some values. Okay, so this is called as properties. Okay, so simply you can remember, like, okay, so I am getting the message very later. Thank you, Ankit. Thank you, Ankit. Okay, so I just missed out with this class. Okay, so that is why that is the syntax error happens. Thank you for Ankit. Thank you. Bear with me, Ankit. Okay, so what is it doing? Okay, so these things is called as properties. Okay, so then what is called as method? A function. A function. It is inside that object, that is called as method. Okay. For example, I just going to create a function. So how can I create, what is meant by a function? First of all, a function is nothing but it do some action. Okay, so that is called as function. For example, I going to create full name and the same syntax. Okay, so this is how the property we create, and instead of giving a value, what I going to do, I just going to create a function. And what is this function is going to do? This function is going to do some task. Okay, so what it's going to do, it is going to, if I call that function, what it's going to do, it's just going to display the full name of the person. So how can I do that? You can do that by using this keyword, but till now we don't see about the dismissing this, we don't see about this, right? We're going to cover it later. So what I'm going to do, I just going to, how can we access this employee, right? So the same thing. Okay, so I just going to say backticks, and here I just say using the template literals, something like, and this is a new way of accessing a variable. Okay, so this is also considered as a variable, but inside an object, that is called as a property. So what I'm going to do, I just going to copy it, and I just going to paste it, and I just put a dot, and what we need a first name, right? So I just going to say first name, and next thing what we need the last name also. So if I add the first name and last name, that is considered as an what, that is considered as an full name, right? So that is what I'm going to do. So I just going to copy the code and paste it here. Instead of first name, I just going to put the last name. Okay, here, like this. Okay, so now what happened, if I call this full name, what happened in my console, my first name and my last name, it gets added and it displayed in the console. Okay, let's see how it works. And for calling this function, what we need to do, you need to, if I call simply the property, how I simply call the first name, it will display, right? If I call simply the property like this, means what will happen means, you can see that code has been written. Okay, if I call, because this is not, we can say this is a property, and this is a, just what I can do, just cut this. Okay, so this is a property and this is a method. Okay, so a method cannot be called without the parenthesis. So if I called without the parenthesis, mean what will happen, it will return the formula. Okay, it will return the formula in the console. Here you can see it will return the formula in my console. This is how it happened, but this is what I don't want. Okay, so I think yesterday I saw a meme in LinkedIn. So a waiter is giving a bill, and there they displayed like waiter, like property dot get waiter dot something like that, it's displayed. So this is because they don't call that method. Okay, so instead of that, they simply called it as a property. Okay, so in the bill, what has been written, instead of how much amount is there, like that, what happens means, it's just type this, they simply type this code in the bill. Okay, so how can we understand this? That is a bug, right? So if you want to call a method, what you want to do, you need to give this parenthesis. If I give the parenthesis and I just run the code, and here you can see my full name has been written, right? So here, I don't worry about this undefined, this is because of the JS bin. Okay, don't worry about that. Okay, so this Hari and Prasad get concatenated by using the template literals. Okay, So a function is nothing but inside of a function is nothing but it do some activities, it's do some actions. So what here it is doing, it's adding the first name and last name. This is the action it is performing. Okay, so this is the action it is performing, and a function is inside an object that is considered as a method, and you can simply say a key value pass that is called as property. Okay, so now what is the purpose of classes means, a classes is an easy way of creating an objects. Okay, so an object, a classes is like a blueprint for creating an object. For example, here there is only one employee, we created it. What if we have 1,000 and 2,000 of employees, it is difficult to create, right? So every time I want to put the ID, every time I put what the name, every time I want to put the email, and every time I want to repeat it again, right? For example, if I want to create the same thing for another person, it will be tough for me. So consider a big company like Google's, something great companies out there, right? So they have a great employee network, right? So how can they maintain? So that is not possible to work with this. Okay, so there comes some hero that is called as class. Okay, so by using the classes we can able to create the same function very easily. How can we create? I'm going to explain it. Okay, we can create n number of function within a fraction of second after creating the blueprint. Okay, so here comes the blueprint. Okay, so just remove this. Okay, so what is this means, this is called as class, and this is going to be the blueprint for creating an object. And here you can see, for creating the classes you want to use the keyword class, and you want to declare the name first. The name of the classes should be caps. Okay, so it is a good practice, remember that. And what this constructor is going to do, this constructor is going to hold all the properties. So now you can understand what is a property. A property is nothing but a variable inside an object, like that. Okay, so key value pass. So here whatever the property, what all are the property I need, I mentioned. So ID is there, name is there, email is there. Okay, so this constructor method holds all this. And here if someone calls the ID, whatever what I am getting, it should be come and display here. If and here's the same thing here, whatever the name, someone calls the name, and whatever the name the given from the object, that should be displayed. That is what. Okay, so here this is blueprint for creating what, this is the blueprint for creating method. Like we have created a method for concatenating the first name and last name, right? So here what I created an method for creating displaying the name and email of the given person. Okay, now this is considered, this is the blueprint. Okay, if you are pretty hard to understand, I highly suggest go and watch the previous video, that is on 1 hour session. I elaborately did described about the classes. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to create an object. So we know how to create an object manually, right? So that is pretty hard, right? So now I'm going to create an object very easily. You can see I say const, and I'm going to say my car. Okay, any name whatever you want to name given for the object name you can give. And now I want to use this blueprint, right? So hi everyone, hi. So I want to use this blueprint. How can I use this? For that you need to use the new keyword. So the new keyword is nothing but it is saying that I'm going to use an object. Okay, so I just want to call the car. Okay, so this is the blueprint, right? So I calling this car blueprint, and inside this you can able to give this 3 parameters. Okay, so here the constructor, there are 3 parameters are available, and we can capable to give this 3 parameter. How can we give? Okay, so there is something is fishy is that, and I want to say this dot name, and also here this dot email, instead of simply writing. Okay, so now I'm giving the value for this parameter. Okay, so this is key, and I'm going to give the value for that. I just going to say ID number is 1, and the next I'm going to say like something like the name of the person. I just going to say like this, and for email I just going to say like this. Okay, so now what I did, I just created. So you don't believe me, but I created an object. So how? For example, what's going to happen means, so I created a variable that is named as my car, and if I call this classes means what will happen, I passing an argument, right? So I'm passing an argument. There are 3 arguments are passing, and where these values are, where it's going in the it's going inside this parameter. Okay, so the ID is the first value is going for the ID, and the second value is going for the name I'm given, and the third value is going for the email that has been written. Okay, so this is what the process is happening in the back. Okay, So then what happened? If someone calls, so here you can see that this, and this has a vast functionality in this JavaScript. Okay, so we're going to discuss this very soon. Okay, but now I'm going to explain how this is going to be work. So here how the this is going to be work means, so the this indicates the object which it declared. So here the declared object is this, right? So the declared object is my car, right? So this is the object we have declared. So what it indicates means, simply instead of putting this here, we can put here like this. Okay, the same thing. Okay, so but this represent it changed dynamically. Okay, so if I'm creating a single object, if I call that object, that this represent for this object. If I created a new object, if I call that object, that this reference represent this. Okay, so that is how it works. So if you have a doubt how it work, right? So the same thing I just going to say console.log to check my code. So I just going to check my car. Okay, so my car dot, I going to call the name of oh, this is a person, right? So instead of car, I just say person. Okay, so I just copy, paste it here, not person. I want to here like this. Okay, so now it's become good. So I calling this my person. So if I call the my person, what person object? Okay, I putting a dot operator to access that value. So here you can see the name is the key. I just going to copy the name and I just going to put. So now what happened? I'm calling my person dot name. So now what happened? This will takes this my person, and here what happened? Here the what is the name I'm giving? Hari is the name I'm giving, and this name is go inside the parameter here, and this parameter is used inside the constructor method. And here I'm declared that if someone calls this dot name, so now what this is representing? My person dot name. If someone calls my person dot name, display the name which you have fetched here. Okay, so if I call my person dot name, what will going to happen? This is going to be displayed. Okay, so if I just run this browser, okay, you can see my name has been displayed. Okay, so you can see whether the object is not created. I just calling my person itself. Okay, simply I'm calling my person itself, and I just run it in console. Here you can see an object, so which indicates an object is created, and inside an object we have like email is there, ID is there, and name is there. But you don't get an access for this methods. Okay, so here you don't get access, but you get access when you work with the actual console. Okay, if I go for the console, here there is the person is there, and here you can see several prototypes. Okay, so here you can see there is an every properties has been displayed, and there is a prototype is there. And inside the prototype, if I click the prototype, inside that you can see a constructed method is there and a present method is there. A constructed method is used to create this properties, and this present method is what we created. Okay, so it is what we created now. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I just going to call this method. So for calling this method, how can we call? We call it with the parenthesis. I just going to put a dot and I just paste it. If I simply call this mean, it's going to return the formula. Okay, I don't want the formula, I want the answer. Okay, so instead of document.get element.body.h, what I'm going to do, I just say console.log. Okay, this like this. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I just going to call with the parenthesis, and I'm saving this, running this code. Okay, it's not console, it's console. Run this code. Here you can see my name is Hari, and it returns me a BR2. Why it returns? Why that? Okay, so there is no inner HTML is used. Okay, so I changed that. Okay, so here you can see my name is Hari, and my email is undefined, so it's giving me an undefined. So there is a problem here. Okay, so there is a problem happened here in the email. Okay, so we want to check that. So what is the problem happened here means, so let me check. It shows me why it shows me undefined. Okay, just refresh this, and here you can see our name is fetched successfully, but it is fetched giving this. Okay, so here I say simply this dot email, something like this. Okay, so this dot email is there, and the same email is used here, and here you can see there is a name changes here. So that is why, that is what happened. So that is why, oops, that is what happened here. So if I put it correctly, now I run this code, you can see my name has been fetched and my email has been fetched. Okay, so this is the easy way of creating an object. It is like a blueprint. If I want to create another object, how can I do that? If I want to, this is for person, my person 1, and this is for my person 2, and I want to create an object like the name of Sabari, and here I just going to say like something like this. And what I can do, if I call the my person 2 object dot present, and this method is going to run for Sabari, and now you can see the present method. Now what this is going to represent? So what is the object I am calling? Person 2. So that this going to represent the person 2. So the person 2, what is the name of the person 2? Name is Sabari. Here you can see my name is Sabari and my email is Sabrinath. So if you can able to create as much as you can. Okay, so that is how the classes work. Okay, so these are all the things we have already discussed in the previous live classes itself, but for the clearing I just clear it now. Okay, so if you don't understand now, I think you will hope. So this undefined, don't worry about this is happening because of this JS pin. Okay, so now what we going to do, I just going to what I going to do, I just going to use the inheritance property. So what is mean by inheritance? It is like it is like genetics. Okay, so what is mean by genetics? So you can see that people are saying like you are looking like your father, you are looking like your mother, you are looking like your grandfather, like that, right? So what is mean by that? Okay, so you taken something looking like, means your appearance is same like what your father's, right? So your appearance is same like what your father's or your mom's or your grandfather, like that, right? So that is called as inheritance. So how the inheritance going to work? So inheritance is going to work in that way only. So for example, there is an issue arise. What it means, I want to use the same blueprint for creating an another employee or any person like that, but I want to add some added properties and added methods. Okay, without disturbing this, remember that. Okay, so what I'm saying means, I have two companies. Okay, in one company I'm taking the name, ID and email only. Okay, so and I'm have a method, and that method is showing, if I call that method, the name and email person, the name of the person and the email of the person will be displayed. Okay, so this is common in one company, company number 1. Okay, I am running an another company where I want to collect an additional data from that what from that employee for that company 2. So for example, I want to, here I just have ID, name and email, and I want to add the date of birth also for this company 2. Okay, for some sake of any works. Okay, so just consider like that. So I want to add an extra property, and also I want to add an extra method. So here I want to say that instead of like date of birth, I'm going to say I'm going to add a property called experience. So how many experience you are having, and here I'm going to display like he is an experienced person, like that. Or I want to check whether it is greater than 5 years. It should be comes, it should be say that you are a junior, to this, you are junior to this company. Or if you are an experienced greater than 5 years, it's going to be say you are a senior for this company. Okay, so something I want to add extra, but I need this blueprint. Okay, so there comes the inheritance. So instead of creating the blueprint again, okay, instead of creating the blueprint again, what we can do, we can use the same blueprint. Okay, because so much of things are similar, like ID is going to be there, email is going to be there, name is going to be there, so much of things are similar to be there. So why I want to create an another thing? Okay, so I can use the same blueprint and I just add extra things. Okay, so that is what I am trying to convey. Okay, okay, so that is what I'm going to do. So how can I do that? How can I do that? Okay, so consider this, I just remove this. Okay, okay, okay. So what I'm going to do, this is the blueprint, actually a older blueprint that is in company one. I'm going to use the same blueprint with some extra properties and methods. How can I do that? You can use the inheritance. So now I'm going to use the inheritance. So for using that, what you want to do means you need to same like you need to call the class. Okay, so just a minute. Okay, class, and here you need to call that model. Okay, so model, what this model is representing means, so the what this model representing means, it is the name we are going to given for the new water or new blueprint. Okay, consider for example here is the person, right? So here I just, instead of model, I just going to say employee, employee like this. Okay, so employee like this. Okay, so this is the new name for class, new name for our blueprint. Okay, so and I want this blueprint, right? So for that, what you want to do, you need to use a method, right? So no, it's a keyword, extend extends. Okay, so this is the keyword that is going to access and already present blueprint. So what is the already present blueprint? Class, it is person, right? I just go and copy and I just going to paste it here. So what does this mean? I'm creating a new blueprint and that blueprint name is employee, and that is the extension of what? This old blueprint. Okay, so now I have access for all the properties inside this, and I have the access for all the methods inside this too. So how can I check? How can I use that? For example, if you want the access for all the properties, what you want to do means, just create this curly braces, and inside this you need to create the constructor. Okay, construct okay, constructor like this. Okay, so a constructor method is used to create the what? Creating the property. So what are the properties? Names we want, name, email, and what? Name, id, name, and email. This is what we want. So I just going to copy and I just going to paste it. And I say I want an additional constructor, additional thing too. So what is the additional thing? So the additional thing is experience. Okay, I just say experience. Okay, so something like that. Okay, and inside this, now this you don't need to write all the this dot id is equal to id, this dot name is equal to name, this dot email is equal to email, because we don't want. Okay, because we have already mentioned in this blueprint. Okay, so we going to use this. How can we use this? You can use a method called super. Okay, inside the super, what you can say means, so super is nothing but it represents a parent. So here this is like a child, and which is the parent. So I'm copying from here only, right? So the person is the parent. Okay, so the person act as a parent, and here whatever that parameter I want here, I can mention here. So what are the parameter I want? ID, name, and email. I just copy this and I just going to paste here. So know the difference. So here you can see the constructor is used for mentioning all the parameters here. Okay, so the super method is going to tell whatever here I am written so much of lines, right? So I am writing this dot id and I don't want to repeat it again. So I just want get from this my parent. Okay, so for that I'm mentioning here. Here you can see experience is extra added. So the experience is not in the previous one. Okay, so it is not inside this person. Okay, so I'm not able to fetch that. Okay, so after writing the super, what we can do means you can now write this experience only. So write code for this experience only, like this dot, someone called that experience, then you need to type the experience. Okay, so actually now you can understand this super method, it reduces our code like this dot id dot name, this dot name dot name, this dot email dot name. We don't want to do that. Okay, so by using the super method, we can access all the thing from here. Okay, all the property from here. Okay, so whatever the extra thing you are adding, you just simply say the extra thing only. Okay, that's it. So now we have created a constructor and we have write the code for the properties too. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I just going to create a function. So how can I create it? So, and this present method, it is in the prototype. Okay, it is in the prototype. So we have access to that when we use the extents. When we use this extents, okay, we can able to access Okay, so while we are calling this super, we have an access for all the methods and also the properties, and we have an access for that. Okay, so whatever the new function you want to add, you can add here. For example, I just going to say call is the my new function. Okay, so here what I going to do, I just going to call that, and here I just say if okay, so if this dot this this dot 𝐸𝐴𝑥PER is greater than 5, and you need to console.log, you need to tell you welcome senior developer, like this. Okay, so else, whether if the given experience is less than 5, okay, less than 5, what would happen? Console.log, and here you can say like what you can say, welcome junior developer, something like this. Don't take this as a serious. Okay, so if you have 1 year of experience, if you have the skills, you can become a senior developer too. Okay, so don't get this serious. Okay, so this is the newly created method. Okay, so this is the newly created method. Okay, so what I am saying, if this dot expire, what is meant by this dot expire? So that is newly created property. Okay, so now I just going to create the function for this. Let's check. Okay, how can we create? So now what I'm going to do, I just going to, okay, so this is the inherited one. So now I inherited id, email, and id, name, and email, all the methods here. I only added the expire, and I only add the call. Okay, so I just going to say console.log, and here I just go, instead first we want to declare that object, right? I just going to say const, and I think if you not that is not visible, you can see here. Okay, you can see here. So I just say person. Okay, and here we need to say new, right? So, and instead of using person, if you use the person, you will get access to this blueprint. I don't want this blueprint now, I want this employee blueprint. So I just go and paste this employee blueprint. Okay, new dot employee, and here you can give the name, id, name, email, and the experience. So there are 4 parameters there. So I just going to say, one is the id, and the name of the person is like something like Hari, and the email of the and the like email is going to be hari@gmail.com, something like this. And the experience is like I'm going to say 7. Okay, so I'm going to say 7. Now what I'm going to do, I just, instead of person, I just say my person. Okay, okay, and you know how this my person is going to be work, because this is taking the my person, and if I call that my person, okay, if I just simply call that my person, okay, so and I save this, and I just run this code, and here you can see the email Hari has been created, the experience 7 has been created, the id 1 has been created, and the name Hari has been created, and you can see it in my browser too. Okay, if I go for the browser console API too, instead of JS bin. Okay, okay, so what you can see, there is an employee is here, right? So if I click and hover over here, you can see and name is created, but I don't, here you can see I don't represent any this dot id, this dot name, no, because I inherited from the old one. Okay, so it takes that. Okay, so totally there are 4 properties is there, and the old ones are email, id, and name. The values are new, but the property structure is old one. And here you can see experience is newly added. Okay, so for newly added, we have created this dot experience. Someone calls this dot experience, which means employee dot experience means it will show the experience of the person. So right now I give the experience as 7, right? So it displays me the value of 7. Okay, so that is how it works. And you can see all the method inside the prototype. Okay, so here you can see just a minute. Here you can see the call method has been there, and the constructor method has been there, and the call method has been there. Okay, so I just going to and inside this prototype you can see that another constructor method is there and that's present method is there. Okay, so how it is working? So this prototype is for the newly created object, newly created classes. Okay, so in newly created object I have a constructor method and a call method, and inside the constructed method I have the super keyword, right? So there is an another, inside that there is an another prototype is there, and that prototype I have access to the present. Okay, so what the present method will do? The present will do the concatenation. Let I check whether it is doing the concatenation for this object or not. Okay, so here you can see, there is no present method is here, but it is inside the prototype, so we can able to access that. I say simply like present, something like this. What is going to happen? The name and email is going to display in my browser. You can check, you can see now. You can see my name is Hari and my email is displayed here. Okay, so this is how it works. So instead, if I just use the call method, okay, newly created method call, okay, now what is the experience of the person is 7. Okay, so what is going to display? Welcome senior developer is going to display. Okay, I just use that and I just run here, and here you can see welcome senior developer is displayed. And if I give the experience, if there is another object is another person's data has been created, and I give experience as 2. Okay, I just give an experience as 2. Now what will happen? It's going to print the welcome junior developer. Okay, so I just save that. Here you can see welcome junior developer. So this is how the conditionals works. Okay, we can use the conditional. So here what this call function, what is it is doing? It's doing some conditional checking, and based on the condition it just sends the answer. Okay, so this is how this inheritance works. And I want to quickly know whether you are understand the inheritance or not, because this is very basics. Okay, so this is very understandable, and if you're not understandable I can explain it. Okay, so that is the reason I can able to adjust the upcoming class based on this. Okay, and the newly coming people like Ganesh and something like Kumar, and I highly suggest, I'm not able to take all the thing. Okay, so all the basics things, there are already, there is some live classes has been posted in our YouTube channel, that is available there, and you can watch it. And if you have any doubt, I just give my LinkedIn also. Someone asked my LinkedIn too, so I just share my LinkedIn too. If you want, if any doubt, you can ask me there. Okay, I can able to help you there. Okay, okay, so this is how the inheritance work. Okay, so now, okay, yes Ankit, for what? Yes, I'm not understanding for what. Yes, so you are saying that you are understanding that inheritance, right? Inheritance, how the classes and inheritance works, I think you are understand, right? So that is the answer, that is why you are saying yes, right? Okay, so only 2 more minutes is left, and I can explain it once again, and I can able to bind it out. Okay, so here there is an definitely. Okay, thank you Ankit. So here you can see I use the backticks. So what is mean by backticks? Means backticks, this is a new way of concatenation. Okay, new way of fetching variables and accessing a variable, new way of accessing a variable. This is also called as an ES6 future. Okay, so this is called as template literals. Okay, instead of using double quotes and single quotes, you can use the like backticks. What you can able to do means you can access the variable. Okay, how I access the variable? This dot name. What is mean by this dot name? So this is going to represent whatever the object we are going to declare, right? Literals, yes, template literals, yes, definitely it is called as literals. Okay, so template literals it is called as. Okay, so what for writing template literals, what you want to do, you just want to give the dollar sign and you want to give the curly braces, and inside that curly braces you want to tell which one you want to access. So here what I say, my name is, right? So I want to access the name of the person and I want to access the email of the person. So this is work based on that. Okay, so this is used to accessing a variable, this is used to like several concatenation method, and this will be used when you are working with DOM. Very important, when you are working with DOM, we have so much of errors based on that using the plus concatenation, the old methods of concatenation. But this new method is going to be a live server for us. Okay, so by using literal, can we use the JavaScript inside anything? By using literals, can we use JavaScript inside anything? By using literals, can we use JavaScript inside anything? inside the literal you can able to write like whatever the html you want to write, you can able to write. And okay, so can you please move your video to other side of the screen? We explain there would become hidden. Okay, so the hidden side you want, right? So Ankit, by using literals you can able to whatever the double quotes or single quotes do, you can able to do that. Okay, you can able to do that. Okay, so the only thing is it is a modern way of using it. And another advantages is if you are using with the DOM properties like inner.text, inner.html like that, you can also give that like something like you can give the br tag, or you give the paragraph tag, anything like that. And if you want to render it in a DOM, you can use it. Okay, so I can understand that by using literal we can use JavaScript inside anything, inside anything. You can use all the html code, you can use all the it is basically used for the concatenation purpose and accessing the variable. Okay, so that is the basic use. And dolphin king. Okay, so what here I returned, so this is called as inheritance. So what is mean by inheritance? Means inheritance is nothing but how, for example, I am look like my father, so how it is, why they are saying like this, because I am look like there is something similar is there between me and my father. Okay, okay, so that is how it happens, right? The same like this, I want to create the, consider that I have two companies. Okay, so one company is I am using this blueprint for creating an object, and I have another company where the same thing has to be going to be there, but some other extra things also there. Okay, so instead of creating this blueprint from scratch, what I can use this blueprint as my parent, and I can extend it. Okay, so consider this is as a father and this is as a child. Okay, so that this child is going to look same like the person, like the father, but it's going to have some additional skills. Okay, so that is what happened. Okay, so how can I create an inheritance? But JavaScript support only single inheritance, right? Singles inheritance. So I think link is not working. Okay, so I share the link. So you are asking me single inheritance, what is mean? You are saying that only one properties is working or only one methods working like that. Okay, so I'm not able to get what you're saying. Okay, so let I explain it and then I come to the doubt section. Okay, so what it's going to do means I just use the constructor method as usually why we are using for creating and properties. Okay, so I want this id and name and email, the same code, this code what I have written, I want that. Okay, so for that I can use the super, and the super method what it do, instead of writing every time this dot id, this dot name, this dot email, what we can do, we can able to I just copy this and paste it. That is what this super method. The super method what it give you access for the all the methods and all the properties in the parent. Okay, so what are the properties I want? ID I want, name I want, I email I want, and I want the present method. So I fetch by using this super. And what is the extra thing I added? The extra property is experience. So I added here. Okay, so here I added an additional method. So how I created and present, I going to create an additional method. And here what I written, if. So what is this if means? If is something like it check the condition. If it is becomes true, it will be write this code. If it is becomes false, what will happen? This else code will be written. Okay, so I'm taking this dot experience. So what is mean by this dot experience? It is comes from here, this dot experience, and the value is experience here. And where it is here, it is in the parameter, and this parameters where it gets from the value, it gets from the argument here. So what is the value? The 2 is the value. Is 2 is greater than 5? The answer is false. Okay, so what happened? This console else code will be run, console welcome junior developer will be written. If I give like more than greater than 5 value means what will happen? This console welcome dot senior will be run. Okay, so usually what happens means I inherited all the properties and method from my parent, and also I added an extra ability for myself. Okay, so that is what I do. Does it support multiple? Yeah, of course, I understand. If you want to create a multiple inheritance, you can able to create it. So this is like one inheritance, right? So I created I create one inheritance, and if you want to create for this one, you can able to create. Okay, so this is also now a class, and you want to create another inheritance based on this blueprint, you can able to create. So consider this is a blueprint, and you can create n number. What if you want to extend in future, you can extend it without touching without touching the previous blueprint, you want to create a new blueprint, you can create it. Okay, so you can able to create that. Okay, so now I understand. Thank you, Ankit. Okay, so now we come. So you are saying like what link is not working. So I think the offline link is not working, right? So I give you the attendance now, just fill it out. Okay, okay, so the attendance is here and you can use it here, and I just give the link for here. Thank you so much. Thank you, Ankit. Thank you. So again, other, thank you so much. And this is the offline. This is for the offline meetings. Okay, if you want to use, I think SOR will be sended it, and it is not in the link format. Okay, you can use this, and all the details has been mentioned here. If you have any doubt, you can personally contact us in the LinkedIn too. Okay, so I will share our LinkedIn page too. Okay, so if the link is not work, please personally contact us in the LinkedIn. I will send that and it will definitely work. Okay, so maybe some issues I will check right itself, that is also working. Okay. Mm. Okay, so this is the first one is for my LinkedIn, and second one is for that our founders Navidu Biswas sir LinkedIn, and you can contact us personally, and if you have any doubt you can clear it there itself. Okay, okay, so that's all for today. I think the inheritance topics has been covered, and within 2 days we would cover all the related to this. Okay, ES6 related to this we will cover, because everything will be easy. Okay, so it is like a 5 to 10 minutes of concepts only, we can cover it very soon. And if you have any doubt you can ask. Okay, it is one, this is one is work properly, this one is work properly. Okay, thank you. I think Ankit is saying this link is working properly. Thank you, thank you. And I want to Karthik Kumbhakarnan, like thank you so much for sponsoring us the 100 rupees you are sharing with us. Thank you so much. Okay, happy, and I'm happy with that. Okay, so the next thing is some newcomers are there, and I highly suggest, if you are not in LinkedIn, go for LinkedIn and create this. The LinkedIn is a great platform for career development and showcase your skills, and that the concept is simply like learn in public. Okay, so that is the concept. Okay, so, and if you are new here, please like and subscribe for us, and that is if you really like that, you can do this. This will be really helpful for us to grow more. Okay, so, and to conduct more sections and all. And regarding the offline meetings, it's going to be every Saturday. We're going to take the personal covering for 6:30 to 10:30. We're going to giving a personal training, and every Wednesday we're going to clear your doubts. Okay, personally. Okay, and in this bootcamp you came to learn all about the Marin stack development, and you came to know the free resources, whatever you want you can able to give. And if you have any doubts, you can pitch me in my LinkedIn, and our founders LinkedIn, I shared our founders LinkedIn also, you can pitch me that here too. And if you are share any post regarding the YouTubes and how it is really work, and how it's really helpful, any feedback, you just share it in your LinkedIn post, and that's also, it will be helpful for us. It's not working. Okay, just a minute, I will check. Right now I'm checking, it will work. Okay, okay, you can. Okay, so I'm trying to check whether the link is coming, means I will send you now. Okay, so I checked it, it will work perfectly. Try the new link shared by our founder. Okay. Okay, check that. The first one is for payment gateway, and it's working. I think some error is for sharing itself. Okay, try to go for that. And first link is for your like see, if you even if all of you filled your attendance, just put a comment and you can and go. Okay, so if you if the link still it's not working, don't worry. Come to the LinkedIn, and it's working. Thank you. Okay, so come to the LinkedIn and pitch me. I will share the details and everything and all, and I'm going to share all the resources, and I'm going to put a regular series on LinkedIn too. Okay, so there you will get all the resources, and the study material to learn, and everything will be available in LinkedIn very soon. Okay, so if you are in LinkedIn, use that too. Okay, it's working out, it's working. Okay, so I wait for a few more minutes. I wait for, if you don't have any doubts, and if you fill the form, you can leave. And some people have doubts, and some of them have some queries regarding that courses and all, you can wait. I will wait for another 2 to 3 minutes, okay, and after that I will bind. Okay, so if you don't have any doubts, just say bye to me and just leave. You can leave the section. Okay, it's no problem in that. Okay, after filling the attendance form, that is important. Okay, so remember that. Okay, okay, so much of them are subscribed our channel, happy for that. Special mention for 𝐏𝐚𝐫𝐭𝐢𝐜𝐚 for sharing your valuable money towards the live. Okay, so okay, next. Okay, so definitely likes. Thank you, thank you for liking the videos, dot thinking. Okay, so share your feedback in your LinkedIn post too, where we and tag us, and we will come to you. Okay, so because we don't know who you are and what is the purpose you are making in your career towards development. Okay, if you are posting your feedbacks in LinkedIn and share some feedbacks to us, and personally tagging me and Namidu Biswa sir, and we will reach you. Okay, so we definitely come and see your post, and we will see your profile, and whatever what and how, we can check how your process is going and all, we can check. Okay, so connect us within LinkedIn and it will be great for all of us. Okay, okay, so I think only 4 to 3 members work. So if no problem is there, can I bind the section? If yes, someone put yes. Okay, so I wait for 1 more minute. Okay, I think some of them have registered for the course. I think 5 to 6 students are asking for the offline badges and offline courses too. We have done that. Okay, if you are registered for the course and the payment has been successful, just share it in LinkedIn. Okay, so I will be there. Okay, so if you have any doubt, I will be solved with. Okay, 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 so the time's up. Okay, so see you in the next class. Bye guys, see you in the next class where we're going to cover all the year 6 concept, okay, within 2 days.